Welcome to my lecture on Android interface design. Generally, we design in XML. We design in XML. Right. So let us see the general stuff in every UI. What we see in UI. Generally, whenever you look at an activity, whenever you create an activity, there will be two files for activity. One is XML file and another one is Java file. One is XML file and another one is Java file. Okay. XML file, it holds UI. Okay. So for suppose when you create Android application, when you open one new Android application in Android Studio, then initially it will create an activity for us. Okay, for that activity there will be two files. One is XML file, another one is Java file, and that activity is the main activity. That's why they will give the name as activity_main.xml for XML file, and main activity.java for Java file. Two files for one activity. That's what the point here. Okay, but if you write only these two, XML and Java file, that is not sufficient. There should be one more file, that is Android manifest.xml file. Okay, we have to write, we have to specify the details about activity or any other component related to your Android application by using Android manifest.xml. Okay, so let us go through these points. So first one is activity_main.xml. Okay, it is an XML file specifying screen layout. Screen, which is screen? We discussed like this. Activity is a single screen. Okay, so that the screen layout, that activity layout, everything will be within activity_main.xml. Okay, and then main activity.java, not only main activity.java, some name.java. It is generally with the name of the activity. Okay, so it is a Java code, and it is for behavior. Behavior in the sense, when the user clicks on button, what should happen? How our activity should behave? How our activity should be visible is XML file. How our activity should behave is Java file. Okay, so that is what actions taken and the behavior when a button clicked, that and all will be within the Java file. And then we know this one, Android manifest. There will be, for every component, there will be one tag in Android manifest.xml, and this file will be created automatically by Android Studio whenever you create a component. If you create an activity, a tag will be added within the Android manifest file automatically, but we should know what it is. Okay, so they're explaining about that one. We have seen that explanation earlier, and this is the PPT which I got from internet. I thought this is very good. If I prepare, I can't prepare better than this. That's why I'm using this PPT. Okay, next class onwards. This is just an introduction about UI. For that, I'm using this. Next class onwards, I will use my PPT. Okay, next one. Okay, so when you look at your app, otherwise any app, when you look at an app, for suppose Pinterest is one app, right? So Pinterest, like Facebook, WhatsApp, okay, Pinterest is also one application, right? Okay, So now what and all controls we see, all those are called widgets. In a general term is widget. Okay, and each and every element can be obtained by simply dragging and dropping in Android Studio. When you drag and drop one component into your screen, the code which you supposed to write in Android Studio will be automatically created. Simply you just drag and drop. See, and whatever we see, almost everything is a widget in the screen. Okay, we call normal term is a widget. Okay, and what are widgets? Rectangles containing text, image, etc. Okay, and okay, so the point here is a similar app you can also create. And the foreground, what we see, everything is from the interface. Just drag and drop. Okay. Now that is what this slide. So in Android Studio, what we will do is we will drag and drop, and that too in a design view. There's nothing but Android Studio will show the output of your app. Output in the sense, not it will not execute, but it will show how your screen looks like before execution. Okay, in this slide, what you are seeing, suppose sorry. Okay. See this, it is showing this one. Which one? That Android Studio is showing this one. That particular mobile picture. See, this will be visible before the execution of your program. It will show how your screen looks like within the mobile. Okay, in this is an old IDE, but in the new IDE, in the new versions of Android Studio, I think we may not see this mobile diagram, but it will show a rectangular box. If you want, you can take that view also. Okay, this is design view, and in Android Studio we have a small option called Pellet. Okay, so here it will show list of user controls, that widgets which are available in those can be used, which can be used in our application. Okay, of course there are layouts. If you know AWT, layouts, then you can understand these things very easily. Of course, the layouts what we use over here and the layouts what we have used in Java, both are entirely different. Okay, but a similar concept is same. Okay, and then widgets, different types of widgets are there. What you have to do, you have to click on one particular widget and drag and drop on the screen. That's it, drag and drop. And when you drag and drop, that particular control will be displayed. For suppose they have dragged and dropped one plain text view or text view. Okay, now, and when you select that particular thing, yeah, they have dragged and dropped text view. Okay, you can see which one currently you have selected, and that tree structure also you can see. Tree structure in the sense, for suppose first the device screen. Within that there is a layout. That layout is a relative layout, and within the relative layout, a text view. Okay, there is a tree structure. So when you select one particular control upon the screen, okay, then that particular component tree will be displayed. Component tree. Okay, and then main point is its properties are also displayed. These are all the properties. Properties in the sense, those are like variables. You can assign a value to it, so that one feature you will be assigning to that particular object. For suppose here layout width and layout height. If you write match underscore parent, that particular attribute value is assigned to that property. What you have assigned, based upon that, it will react. It will be visible. Otherwise, it will behave. Okay. So in Android Studio, what we will be doing is we will be dragging and dropping the UI controls. And in Android Studio, it will show how the output will be, how our screen will be during the output, during the execution of your application. And when you select one particular control, its properties will be displayed on the right hand side. And along with that component tree will also be displayed. Okay. If you want to see them, that component tree will be visible. Otherwise, you can hide it. Whatever you want, you can see. Okay. So that is about the foreground. The foreground. Then what about the background? Background in the sense, see in the previous slide we have seen just to drag and drop. But where is the code? Code is present. So code will be visible in another view. See, Android Studio is providing different views for us. Okay. So one is design view, and another one is text view. Okay. In design, you can drag and drop. Okay, that is what we have seen in the previous slide. And when we come to text view, what it is given over here? It is specified like this. We can edit the XML. So XML file will be displayed. XML content will be displayed. Actually, this is the content. This is the content. But Android Studio will take those tags and it will present to us how your screen looks like when you write this code. Okay, this is completely XML file again. UI file is completely an XML file. Okay, what is this UI file name? Activity underscore main.xml. So here it uses the tab system. Okay. So when you click on main activity.java, that program will be open. That program will be visible to us. Okay. And here it is showing how the output, otherwise how the screen looks like. How the screen looks like. Okay. And left hand side, you can see the project related files also, your project related files. Okay. So manifest files, Java files, and resources. In resources, drawable, layout. Within layout, activity underscore main.xml is located. So this is a layout. This XML file is a layout. It is also one resource. So they kept that particular resource within resources, RES, under RES, okay, under layout. Okay. So if you want to access this file in Java, what you have to write? R dot activity underscore, sorry, what it is, layout dot activity underscore main. Otherwise, some name will be there, that name we have to use. Okay. And when you look at the code here, see, relative layout, the tag name. So first layout, within that the controls. Generally we have to write like that. First layout, within that controls. Okay. Now when you take see here, these are all the properties. These are all the properties. Okay. And if you are viewing this lecture in a mobile, you can enlarge the screen by using your two fingers so that you can clearly see that the text. Okay, just enlarge it. It can be enlarged. Okay, fine. So these are all the properties. We will see what are the properties will be there for each and every control. Not every control we discuss in our syllabus because so many controls are there, so many widgets are there, so many views are there. If we start discussing everything, then it will take more time. That's why basics we will study over here in our course, basics. And once you know the basics, then remaining things and all very easy to understand. You can learn on your own by referring the website provided for developers. Okay, and within the layout, the view, text view. And for the text view, there will be again the properties. What should be the text which is to be displayed? See here, text Android colon text is equals to hello world. Here, hello world is displayed. Okay, and then layout width, wrap content, height, wrap content. Those are the attributes given. Those are the properties given. Okay. Now let us go through few of the what is widgets. Okay, some people they call in Android only. I have seen like this. In some others, I mean some others use the word widget. Some others use the word view. Otherwise, you can make use of the word control or component. All are same only. Widget, control, component, view. Okay, in Android developer website, they used the term view. Okay, so we will discuss all those points now. If you look at the common widgets, when you are using studying AWT, so there we studied basic controls or components, label, text field, and button. The same three here also provided. But the names are different, the classes are different, and their behavior also are different. But similar concept, but not same. Similar concept. So we know text view. It is nothing but it looks like a text view, does it? Edit. Text view is a label. Text view is a label. See here. Okay, it is like a label. You might be knowing AWT. Or there we have a label. Okay. So URL is text view. Edit text in the sense you can change. Text view means only the text which is visible, which the developer wants to show to you. That's it. User cannot change it. But edit text, user can change it. That's why they have given the name as edit text over here in Android. Okay, and then buttons. Okay, so in this example, they have taken two buttons. Okay, and cancel. One edit text and one text field. So you have to use the same terms. Don't write again text field, button, label like AWT while writing in exams. You have to use the terms text view, edit text, and button. Text view, edit text, and button. Okay, text view, it is used to show a text to the user. Edit text, you can take input from the user. Button, you can specify that user want to do something. You can grab the thing that you can understand that user wants. For suppose if the user clicks on sign in, now you have to authenticate the user. But suppose when the user clicks on cancel, that entire thing will be cancelled like that. Okay, so it depends. So buttons, right? Okay, then now when you study in depth in this particular text view, okay, so this is for text. That is the first thing. Okay, so now let us look at this text view. Okay, it is to display the text. That is what, and there will not be any interaction. Main part is the XML code. So how to get a text view by using how to write the code for text view. Okay, so generally what we do, every XML file, in XML file we write tags. Whenever you write tag, you have to write less than. Okay, and then you will be writing the tag name. For suppose here it is text view, so you have to write text view. Okay, so that's what text view. Okay, and then in XML document we write attribute names equals attribute value. So here the attribute is a property. When you look at the object in Java, for object there will be properties as well as methods. Variables are used as properties, right? Okay. So when you assign a value to the variable, there's nothing but one property you are telling about the object. For suppose if you write color is equals to white. For suppose it is fan object. So now when you write when you assign white is color is equals to white, color is equals to white, then that object fan is white in color. In another object you write color is equals to black. So that object object tells this is another fan with color is equals to black. Okay. Similarly here also, but they made the things easy here in Android. In Java, what you have to do, you have to create an object for text to be. Afterwards, you have to call a method in order to assign a property to the variable, so that a property can be a property value can be obtained. Okay, through the variable concept, we do that. So variable you cannot access directly. You have to access the variable by means of a public method. By calling a public method, we used to assign a value to variables in Java by using set methods, right? Set string, get string, right? Okay, here we are setting the values by assigning the values. Simple. They simplified the things. Of course, you can do similarly what you have done in Java by creating an object and by assigning a value to a variable with method calling. That can also be done, but this is easier. So most of the times we will be using this XML file. If you want to assign any value dynamically during the execution of the program, so you can write in Java. So you cannot write dynamic things in generally. We cannot write dynamic things in XML. It is static, right? Almost static. Okay. But in Java, you can get the values dynamically. That's nothing but the color of the object can be changed dynamically. How in Java by using method call, you can do it, right? Okay. So here what we will be doing is we will be using XML and its attributes. By assigning the values to the attributes, we will be specifying the properties of the object. How you specify within these attributes, like that, and widget will be displayed. Otherwise, a view will be displayed. Okay. So that's what the point here. And when you look at the common attributes or common properties, whatever term you want, you can use. So there is typeface, bold, italic. These are all normal. We can understand very easily, right? Text size, text color, width, height, padding, background. These are all the attributes. By assigning one value, okay, that property will be specified to it. Okay, and okay. So can also include links to email, URL, phone number, all those things. We can understand these things. Let us move to the next concept, next point. Okay. Okay. So as I said, these widgets are available in Android Studio, that ability. Okay. So it is displayed at the top of this slide, and it is like this. It will show in Android Studio all the controls. It will show what all controls are available. It will show. We cannot remember all these things, but important things we'll be knowing, right? Okay. So those things you can just drag and drop, and there will be a properties window. Over there you can set the text. Whatever you set the text, according to that an XML attribute it will take, and a value will be assigned. Whatever value you give, that value will be assigned to the text attribute. Automatically. That code will be generated automatically. That's what the point here. That code, the XML code will be generated automatically when you put a value in the properties window. Okay, that is what one concept. Okay, of course there will be plain text view, large text, medium text, small text. Different widgets are there for text view. Anything, whatever you want, you can use. Okay, generally there will be ID for every widget. Okay, so the ID attribute, otherwise the ID property. So important attributes are this ID, the first thing. Okay, and in the text view, the important attribute is text, because we have to display some text. That text, which text will be displayed? The value which is assigned to text property. The value which is assigned to text property will be the text which will be displayed in the text view. Okay, and then ID. Okay, we use this ID in Java program. We use this ID in the Java program. That's what. Using widget ID declared in XML, widget can be referenced, modified in Java code. Okay, by using its ID. We will be using its ID in order to refer it in our code. And most of the attributes will be with Android colon. It will the prefix will be Android colon and then property. But when you look at the properties window, further Android will not be visible. But in the code, in the XML file, we see that Android colon ID. So that is about text view. And the next one is button widget. Next one is button. We know this one, right? From Java. So a text will be displayed on it. Afterwards, when the user clicks on that button, it considers that one as an event. Whenever event occurs, we can perform another operation. Whatever you want to do, that can be performed. Okay. And if you see the code, XML code, see this statement we will write for all the XML files. We know that one. Processing instruction it is, and then generally view group will come. This is view group. View group is nothing but it groups the views. Layouts are view groups. Here we see views as well as view groups. Button is view. Linear layout is one of the view group. First, whenever you write an XML file, first you have to write the view group, and afterwards you have to write the view. Okay, there will be properties for that view group, as well as there will be properties for that view. Important properties for button are ID. Okay, and then width, height, as well as text. So we know this one, right? We discussed this one in resources. I have the rate. Okay, string, that is nothing but string.xml. Within that there is a button. So from that button the value will be obtained. Okay, so at the rate is nothing but we are getting from resources. When you are getting from resources, you will be specifying the type of the resource slash that particular resource name. Okay, and then okay, it is available in that parity, and you can drag and drop afterwards. You can edit its attributes. That's what the slide. Okay, and next one. Okay, now we have to deal with button clicks. Here we can use two approaches. This is the important stuff. The remaining things and all very easy on your own you can learn, but this is the important stuff. That's nothing but when the user clicks on button, what should happen? When the user clicks on button, what should happen? First method is we have an attribute called onClick. We have an attribute there. There is an attribute called onClick. When the user clicks, this onClick referred method will be called. There's nothing but onClick is equals to, we write name of a method. That method will be called automatically. That's it. Simple. In Java, what we used to do? We used to create an object for button. We add the button, and then we add the action listener, and we have to implement the action listener, and afterwards we have to override action performed, and within that action performed we have to specify what action to be taken. But here simple, that's nothing but You just mention the name of the method, which is to be executed when the user clicks on the button. Okay, so that is one method. Okay, and the second one is, see, the method will be in Java, and this Android on click is equals to that you write in XML file. Okay, so that's what the point here. And another one is you can make use of, okay, method handler. You can declare method or handler to, okay, so that's what this is. It is talking about the same method, that nothing but we write the name of the method here, and then that method will be declared in defined in Java, and it should have the declaration like this. That's nothing but the head part like this. What is some method name is your wish, but it should return void, and it should be public, and it has to accept an view object. What is view? View is a class, and all the views, button, text view, edit text, all are subclasses for the view class. Okay, so we have to write the method by using this declaration. That is the point here. We have to, and from which object you are expecting an event. For suppose here click, that object generally will be passed here. That's what the point. Okay, so that object will be the subclass of view. So if you write the view here, view class, it is sufficient, because all the subclass objects can be referred by its superclass object reference. That is Java concept. All the subclass objects can be referenced by using the object reference variable of its superclass. Okay, so view is a superclass for all the views. So if you take view as the argument, then it can hold any subclass object. That's what the concept here. Okay, so this is one method, and there is one more method. It is not mentioned in this slide. That is nothing but you can make use of that event handling concept from Java. That's nothing but we can add to one listener. You take button can register. You can register button for one listener, and you have to implement that listener interface, and within that listener interface, implementation of the listener interface, you have to specify the content of the method which will be executed whenever that event occurs. That is Java concept, event handling concept. So what we do in Java, we create a button object, we add action listener, we register action event, we register button for action event, otherwise action listener event, action listener interface. Now action listener interface, what it will do, whenever any click event occurs, that nothing but action event occurs, it executes its method. That method is action perform. Okay, so that concept can also be used over here, but it is complicated. There is a simple method. This is the method which is displayed on the screen. Okay, so you can use this, but you can use that concept also. Event handling concept can also be used for click event. For click, whenever user clicks on click. See, this on click is similar to our JavaScript concept. In JavaScript, we have event handling. Or there, a property will be like this, an attribute will be like this. On click is equals to name of the method, and that method in JavaScript will be called. The same approach is used. Otherwise, you can make use of the listeners and event handling what you have done in Java also. Okay. Then we have few more other views also. Otherwise, widgets also. Those are nothing but image view to display an image. Image button, that's nothing but you take an image as button. You can take an image as button. That is why in different applications you see different types of buttons. All are buttons only. When you press, it will do something. There's nothing but button only. Okay, but they got that button by using an image. So you can show an image as a button by using image button. You can show an image within your activity or screen by using image view. Okay. So image view you cannot click. Means what? You can click, but nothing will happen because it is not clickable. Okay. So it will not take any events. There might be some events, but not for click. But when you take image button, you can click on the image button so that it will consider that one as an event and it will perform some operation for that click, for that event. Okay. So that's the difference between image view as well as image button. Okay. And there are so many attributes, so many properties. Okay. By practice, through practice only, we will come across different properties, but basic properties we should know right now. And the property is SRC. Okay, what is that? This is similar to our HTML, right? Okay, over there also I think we have to use SRC attribute. SRC is equal to the path of the image, the same stuff. Specify the image source. Okay. Now one more point. The point is now from where we have to get the image. In web technologies, otherwise in internet, what happens is when you try to open one page, all the images in that page will be sent from the server to client, and those images will be within the client system temporary folder. Okay, and from the temporary folder, okay, browser will get the images and it will display the images within the browser. That's what happens. But what about our Android application? Okay, see, Android application resides within our Android operating system, within our Android smartphone. Okay, so along with that APK, within that APK, I already told what is an APK. Okay, so it is a archive file. Within that, all the files related to our Android application will be present. It will be only one file. But within that, everything will be archived. Okay, every file required for our Android app will be archived, and it looks like a single file, but within that, so many other files will be there, right? Okay, so within the APK, you can place your image. Now, within the APK, if you want to place the image, how to get the image into APK? There's nothing but you have to keep your image under drawable folder. So there are few folders in our Android application. When you try to create Android application or when you try to develop Android application by using Android Studio, within the Android Studio, okay, left hand side under project window, we can see all the files. In those files we have RES folder. Within RES folder there are few standard folders for images. One such a standard folder for images is Drawable. Okay, we have so many other image related folders also. Okay, we will discuss all those things, right? Okay, so Drawable. So you place the image and give the reference of Drawable over here. Okay, so what is @? Represents it is a resource. You have to go to our file. In that there will be a Drawable. Under Drawable there is one resource icon. Drawable is resource type. Icon is the resource. Okay, so the representation is @resource type / resource name, right? Okay, that one only we have to write. So if you look at the example Android, I mean in the tag, it is written like this: @drawable / molecule. Okay. So now the molecule picture is coming. Actually, it is molecule.jpg or molecule. Some other extension. Okay. But generally, we will be writing only the name, but not the extension. Okay. And some other attributes are given along with their values. Okay. And XMLNS is a standard. Okay, it will be given automatically by Android Studio, and this is ID. Okay, so we will discuss this ID related concept later on. Okay, for now, okay, SRC is the important thing for image view, and the output will be like what it is, how it is displayed. Okay, next. Okay, the first one is okay. We discussed about we are discussing about image view. We have seen that there will be SRC attribute. Okay, of course, we have to drag and drop from quality the image view. Okay, and you can give the values for SRC as well as scale type, how it should be scaled. Choose how image should be scaled. Okay, scale type is you can fit at the start, you can fit at the center, you can fit at the end. Otherwise, it should be at the center. Otherwise, it should be center but cropped. Cropped in the sense edges will be removed. Okay, fit at that particular XY. Otherwise, matrix. Like so many scale types are there. Okay, how it should be scaled, how it should be visible. Okay, that one. Okay, so the scale type, center. It looks like this. Center of the activity. Okay, center crop, center only but cropped, which what edges are cropped. The full image is not displayed over here. Okay, and other one is fit XY. Okay, so based up, it ignores the aspect ratio and it distorts the image. Okay, so those are all normal things, but let us concentrate on important things. Okay, next, edit text. Edit text is like a text field. There's nothing but one text box will come. Within that, user can enter some text. Okay, and here it will be displayed like this. This is text view. Enter your name, please. That is text view. And type your name. This is edit text. And click when done is the button, right? Okay. It can have different input types. What are those input types? Input types, it can be a number, date, password, email address. Okay. So some extra concepts in HTML, a simple text box will be displayed. But in the latest Android, some more features are given over here. There's nothing but you can simply specify the input type. Based upon that, particular text, edit text will work. Okay. So text person name means only the person name it will accept. Number means only it will accept the number. Date means it will accept only the date. If anything happens, it will not allow. Something like that. Okay. And there is a gravity in attributes. Gravity. Okay. That gravity we will discuss. That gravity will be there for every view as an attribute. We will discuss that point. Hint is nothing but when you place the cursor upon the view, it will show one small text over there, like a hint. Okay. So when the user places the cursor upon that, please enter your name here. Like that, you can show a text. Okay, that is a hint. Okay. Then okay. When you look at this input type, when you look at this input type, it is given like this. Attribute sets input type affects what type of keyboard pops up for user. Okay, if a number, if you give number, a number type keyboard. Okay, that's what. This is nothing but how we have to accept the input. Okay, next one. Then we have so many things under this edit text, that plain text, person name, password, email, phone. These are the things actually. Okay, and there are so many input types for those. Okay, and we cannot remember all those things, but we should know there are so many input types. Okay, there are so many text fields. So that's what that is what I was telling. Okay, based upon the type of the text field. Okay, That's nothing but in HTML, what you have to do when you take a text box, you have to write a JavaScript code. Okay, for suppose if you are taking a text box for email, okay, if you simply take one text box in HTML, it is not sufficient. You have to validate the data by using JavaScript code. By using JavaScript code. Okay, but here what they are doing is they are giving a text field for all the common things like email, like phone number, postal address. Okay, and it will act accordingly. It will act accordingly. For suppose if it is date, it will accept only date. For suppose it is number, it accepts only number. Like that it is. And of course, input type is nothing but the keyboard what should be displayed to the user. Okay, right. So the point here is no need to worry about the password. Means if you otherwise email. Okay, sometimes if you give the text box for email, they make you some other thing. For that you have to go for some more code to validate it and to correct it. But here it is not required. Simply take that particular type. For suppose if it is for email, you just drag and drop email text field. Okay, email related edit text. That's it. That email related things and all will be taken care by that control by simply writing one XML tag. You are getting the email related stuff in terms of text field. Okay, I hope you understood. In HTML, what we have to do is when you take a text box, it is not sufficient because there is a possibility that user can give something other than what he is supposed to give. At the time, we have to write a JavaScript code in order to make sure that user gives a valid data. But here, you need not worry about all those things. Simply just drag and drop the text field what you want. For suppose if you want email, drag and drop email. That's it. One small XML code will help us in dealing with validating, getting the correct data from the user. Okay. And then so many other widgets are there. So many other widgets are there. Okay. And in our syllabus, we don't have all the widgets, but it is left to you because you can understand. If you get the basic knowledge, then the remaining things and all you can understand on your own. Okay. So we have map view, we have web view, we have date picker. Okay, we have spinner, we have so many things. Okay. We have picker, date and time picker, date picker. Okay, these are also controls. And then spinner, this is called spinner. Okay, the user must select on of a set of choices. Okay, there will be a set of choices. They have to select. And checkbox, we have checkbox here also. Okay, and there will be checked as well as unchecked. Okay, this is the example here given here. It will be displayed like this. It will be displayed like this. The checkbox. Okay, and then some other progress bar, rating bar, chronometer, digital clock, analog clock. All these are views on. All these are widgets only. The controls are the components provided in Android. You can use in your Android application. Okay. Our next concept is layouts. Okay, but before going to layouts, we will once again look at according to our syllabus. In this video, in this lecture, I have given only about the basic concept. Basic concept. There's nothing but how UI in Android will be. How UI in Android will be, and the basic controls, their properties, their attributes. How an XML file will be there, how a Java file will be there. Within the XML, in Android Studio, how a design view will be there, how a text view will be there, and how to drag and drop the items, how to assign the values to the properties. Those are the basics. Those are the basic concepts. Okay. In the next video or in the next lecture, I will explain those concepts according to our syllabus. Okay.